is a vampire, she eats her kids. Let's hide the bodies under the bridge. This world is a vampire, she eats her kids. Let's hide the bodies under the bridge. This country's a vampire, she eats her kids. Let's hide the bodies under the bridge. This city's a vampire, she eats her kids. Let's hide the bodies under the bridge.
First, I want to say thank you to everyone that came out today to support our families. If it wasn't for you, sometimes we wouldn't get out of bed. I say it over and over and over again. It's because of community and the people that stand with our families. My name is Katie Wright. Dante Wright was my son. He was murdered by Brooklyn Center police officer Kim Potter a little over a year ago. Fuck Kim Potter, yes! Some people like to say that we received justice because Kim Potter actually went to jail. This is how much time my son's life was worth. So I'm going to continue to come out, continue to scream my son's name. He was my baby. He was my baby, and he could have been your baby. So that's what we come out here every day to fight for, right? Because we don't want to have to continue to say any more names. We don't want to have to look at another grieving mother's face, a grieving father's face, because this isn't what people, this is living hell when you lose a child. It's complete living hell. But again, it's because of you guys that help us. I'm going to continue to stand with the families. We lost a loved one, but we did earn so much more when it comes to the support of the families that we now have to support each other. I want to say thank you all for being here for us.
Hi, my name is Terry Watts, cousin of Emmett Till. This is Deborah Watts as well. Our family, as you know, have been fighting for 67 years for justice. We are still fighting. Recently, our team, including family members, found the warrant, the original outstanding warrant, physical warrant, to charge Carolyn Donham Bryan. We are still fighting. We will continue to fight. We're representing Mamie Till Mobley and Emmett Till and all descendants and you. We stand with all the families here as well, and we just want you to say his name, Emmett Till.
She said it all. I'm Deborah Watts, cousin of Emmett Till. Our great-grandfathers were brothers. So, you know, if you can go that far back, even with your loved ones, just understand that the generations are impacted by these deaths and these murders and these lynchings, particularly when they're unsolved and when justice has been denied. We know it affects all of us. So we've been fighting 67 years. And we want to say to all the other families, do not give up fighting. Because if we can stand here and we found evidence, we found the doggone evidence. Do you understand? We had to go where the FBI, the DOJ, and other investigators never went. We went to LaFleur County Courthouse in the basement and found the documents, an affidavit, a warrant with the name of Mrs. Roy Bryant on there. Mrs. Roy Bryant is Carolyn Bryant Donham is still alive. She's the last living accomplice. We stand here without hate, without malice, without violence, but we want justice. Justice for Emmett Till and justice for all the other stolen lives and all the families that are standing here in their pain with purpose and passion. We don't do it all right every time. We don't say the right things every time through our tears and our pain. Just bear with us and keep us in your prayers. Justice for them all. Justice for them all. Thank you. On behalf of Emmett Till, thank you. Thank you, Tashira.
No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace!
This is still really raw for all of us, so I'm just going to do my best. I'm here representing all 8 of my siblings. They told me to come and scream his name today. They're all grieving in their own ways, but they appreciate and love all of you for being here. And this didn't need to happen. Tekle should be here. So that's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Let's go back.
Say his name. Say his name. Say his name. My name is Princess Titus. And coming from Chicago 27 years ago, looking for something different, I got a chance to work with men coming out of prison. Men who had taken life. Men who were held accountable because of what they were sent through when they were children, not having a place of healing. I lost my son, Anthony Titus, when he was 16 to community gun violence. And when those 2 young men went to prison, I did not feel justified. Why is it that my people who live in communities that are overburdened with toxins, that people can pollute our air and commit felonies and not be held accountable, have to be held accountable when they commit the crimes against their own because of the toxic environment that they live in? We created an organization. My organization is called Standard Edition Women. We work with people that are incarcerated called All From the Inside because they know the ailments they need to be healed from. They know the things that they suffered, and they know that healing is important. They have accepted that they are in prison. They have changed in the area of the Department of Corrections, and they are able to make a difference in the gun violence in North Minneapolis. Janara McDaniel is coming up for commutation. So everything that I've done, everything that I've learned, all my degrees don't matter. I ask, why do our people have to be held accountable when the law enforcement don't? Why do we have to pay taxes to pay for their salaries, but they don't get the same type of accountability? If I can go to prison and meet the young men who took my son's life and see them and hear their story and meet them in their humanity, why don't officers have to be met in their humanity, and why don't they have to meet us in ours? Right. So I only have questions. How long will we allow this to happen? How long will you let this happen? We voted you in, and all you do is devalue our lives. We fought for human civil rights. Now we fight for human rights. Thank you to Emmett Till's family. I saw Mamie stand dressed to the nines, a young woman from Chicago that said, "Open that casket." Her spirit commanded flesh, because when you lose your child, your flesh is broken. So I'm asking for God to move in a way that he has never done before, to free our loved one and hold law enforcement accountable, because we hire them, we vote them in, we pay for them, and then we suffer. That's my question. That's not fair. Amen and Ashe.
We are a group, we are faith-based. Now, whatever you choose to call the higher power, even if you don't believe, we still love each other no matter what. But whatever you choose to call that higher power, we don't judge each other for what we look like, what we have or what we don't have, our religion, our sexual orientation. We don't judge each other for that at all. We are human beings at the end of the day, and that's what we stand up for no matter what.
Hi, my name is Mary. I just come from Puerto Rico. When this happened, I was in Puerto Rico. It's almost been 3 years in September 7th. And this is a pain that you can describe. So I'm here to support all the family that I'm in the same way like me. With my broken heart, at least I try to be here. Thank you.
Most of you know who I am. I'm Brian's grandfather. I say this all the time, and I'm going to say it again. This is a tough group to be a part of. It's the worst group you want to be a part of, because the cost to become a member is too frickin' high. And you know what's scary? Tashira, more people are joining our group. That's what's scary. Something needs to be done. So what do? You do this, which is fighting. You do it legislatively, which is fighting. Sometimes you win a little, most times you don't. And then when you do win, this is what the system does to you. And we already talked a little bit about it. Those downward departures, what a frickin' joke. Okay? So the last two guys that get a downward departure just got them last week. Two guys involved in the killing of George Floyd got downward departure sentences. Okay? No, it ain't right. Here's a bigger joke. Channel 4 makes damn good and sure that the world knows that the same day that those two gentlemen, if that's what you want to call them, I call them something else, okay? But the same day that they got their downward departure sentences, Minneapolis Police Department held a recognition Valor Day and honored all of their good cops and civil servants on the same day. You think that wasn't planned?
It was planned.
No, that's their game, folks. That's their game. So when the bad shit hits them, they sing Kumbaya and pull the sheet over the wolves' eyes, or pull, you know what I'm saying, right? Pull that sheet over their eyes. Well, guess what? They can't pull the sheet over our eyes. We see their shit. We know what they do, and we just keep fighting. We just keep fighting. Love y'all. Thank you for coming out here today.
Who I am, ask the Lord about me. I am President and CEO of the Fuck Around and Find Out Club. I am taking new members. The police got something to do, and that's leave. We have not had not one significant. We passed Travis's law, so 911 can kind of do a new job about mental health care. But we have not passed one significant law that has made black people safer in the state of Minnesota since George Floyd or before. We have a governor that sits in here that does nothing. We have mayors that sit in their city that do nothing. They have all the power and can make any change. We watch cities across the United States making the necessary changes to affect public safety in a positive way so that persons of color, people of color, all sexualities can be safer in what is supposed to be the greatest country in the world. What I see is a country that is full of its shit. Been eating it for too long and likes the taste of it. I don't have much to say, but this marching, if all you're doing is wearing tread off your shoes, if that's all you're here doing, you ain't doing enough. If all you're doing is wearing your fucking shoes out, you are not doing enough. Who'd you vote for? What are you doing? Who are you supporting? They are winning the war, you guys. They're winning. If we don't take the battle to them, we will lose. All power to the people.
All power to the people. Alaikum assalam. I'm not much of a speaker. Usually it's my dad out here protesting for my brother. All I would like to say is justice for Dalal Id. Hopefully my family all comes back and we fight for justice for him. What happened to him was not right at all. How they traumatized my family, brutally arrested my brothers in the house. It was very traumatizing. Again, I'm not much of a speaker and I'm quite shy, but all I would like to say is justice for Dalal Id.
Justice for Dalal Id!
Say his name, Dalal Id! Say his name! Say his name! Say his name! Say his name! Scream his name!
I am the mother of Amir Locke Heron Wells.
We are here today in support of every victim that has lost their lives, that have lost their lives to police violence. we didn't ask to be a part of this fraternity. We were thrown into this. And we stand in solidarity with all of the families. Thank you.
I stand here to support my baby boy who is no longer a voice. He is a spirit. I stand with all the families here. We should not be here. We should all be somewhere at a barbecue. We should all be here somewhere at a barbecue right now, or celebrating the kids getting ready to go back to school. We should not be here standing around because we're grieving the death of our loved ones. But I just want to let everybody know, I will continue to say Amir Locke's name, my baby. I will continue to say everybody's name that's on this poster. And we all stand in solidarity. And I just want to just say one thing. I told them that they was going to learn who was underneath that blanket, and they're learning. And I told them, and I also told them they was going to learn who his mama was.
Say his name. What's his name? Say his name. Say his name. Travis Jordan. Say his name. Travis Jordan. What's his name? Travis Jordan. What's his name? Travis Jordan. Say his name. Travis Jordan. Jamar Clark. Say his name. Jamar Clark. What's his name? Jamar Clark. Say his name. Jamar Clark. What's his name? Jamar Clark. What's his name? Cordell Andy. Say his name. Cordell Andy. Say his name. Cordell Andy. Thurman Blevins. Say his name. Thurman Blevins. Say his name. Thurman Blevins. What's his name? Thurman Blevins. Kobe. Heisler. Kobe. Heisler. Kobe. Heisler. Kobe. Heisler. When I say Cheshire, you say boo. Cheshire. 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 When I say Paul, you say Castaway. Paul. Castaway. Paul. Castaway. Paul. Castaway. Billy Hughes. Say his name. Billy Hughes. Say his name. Billy Hughes. Say his name. Billy Hughes.
I want to thank all you guys for coming and supporting us, our families. It's the most devastating thing to have to deal with. My son was only 6 days into his 14th birthday when he was chased down by law enforcement. Not only did he lose his life, but his friend Elijah Thomas also lost his life in that chase. Law enforcement has not once yet. It happened last September 3rd, 2021. Until this day, I have yet to speak to one law enforcement officer, personnel, anything. Not one. Wow. So that just goes to show you how much they don't give a shit. It ruins our families. It ruins our spirits. I have 8 other children that suffer every day and will never be the same. I have a community that will never be the same. So it means a lot when you guys come out to support our families. A lot. It keeps us fighting that much harder. Thank you.
The power is in the people. I want to thank everybody for coming out. I promise you, my son's life was not taken in vain. His murder magnified and amplified a lot of the key issues that we suffer in our communities every single day. And you just heard from a lot of them today. Yes. Mass incarceration, murder by police, gun violence, abuse, all these different things. And I am so honored to stand here because for once we are addressing everything. Yeah. Everything. The whole system. We have voted these people in to make the proper changes. You have the affirmative action laws. Where are those laws when it comes to people of color? Yeah. We have all these different laws, and I promise you, the day that Yanez walked out of that courtroom a free man, our democracy as black people was put on trial. Our rights were put on trial. That's right. My son was a gun owner, and he was murdered. So what does that say about our rights? Now look at us today. They made different voting regulations. That's one of our laws. Now they're talking about the freedom of women to make choices. That's one of our laws. That verdict set us back 50 years. All the things that our leaders died and was assassinated for trying to make changes for black people, went out the window. Everything that we worked so hard for, yes. Dr. Martin Luther King, bless his heart, was assassinated because he wanted the rights to be viewed. They wanted us to have the same rights as anybody else in this country. And Philando lost his life by being honest and telling the truth and having a right to bear arms. Yeah. So what does that say for us when it comes to our rights? So we got to pay attention. This is a voting year, and if your lawmakers in your community are not talking the language that you want, then don't vote for them. Because we're tired.
Politicians though, I mean, look.
Yeah, I get it. We put them in there for them to do the right things, and just, I mean, it's just a vicious cycle. They lie, baby, I know. But we have to vote them out. If you don't like what they're doing, vote them out. And then too, I want to encourage people, if you feel like the police department is not doing their job, or the prosecuting attorney's office is not doing their job, be the change. Be the change. Become that police officer. Become that governor. Become that mayor. Become that leadership. We have to make the choices ourselves. We have to do the things ourselves. Encourage your kids to become politicians so that they can get in there and move them jokers out. Move them out. Move them out. The same people that have been in power for the last 30 years, and we getting the same results for the last 30 years. Yep. So it's time for them to go. I appreciate everybody coming out here and supporting us, because without you guys, we would have nothing. We draw strength from you all. And you have to keep coming out here. Every month, every week, there's a protest. And you can come out if it's nothing but 3 times out of the year. Make your presence known, because we need you. And you don't know when you'll need us. Because our people are one driver's seat from being Philando. You one broken tail light from being Philando. You one person could be Philando. I mean, you just gotta understand, you're not exempt. I don't give a damn what you think you is. The color of your skin, you're not exempt. You're not. Thank you very much.
Hey y'all. She was just saying no one is exempt, so I think it's fitting that I'm the one up next. No one is exempt from white supremacy. No one is exempt from these police departments that have no rules. These officers that did this to us, to our family members, to me, they're still on these forces. We know their names. If he doesn't know their name, we'll be happy to tell him. These people have names. You could put them in jail tomorrow, but they're not acting on it. They're not acting on the information that we already know. If there's a name that they need to know of who needs to go to jail, ask Michelle Gross. She already knows it. I mean, it's in action. It's not police reform and all these bills they're debating. Many of them really good. They try and make it abstract as though it's some really hard, complicated problem. It's not. I know their name. Benjamin Bauer shot me directly in the face. Mark Hanneman was standing right next to him when he did it, and then Mark Hanneman killed Amir Locke. You know, we know their names. Put them in jail. Put them in jail.
Fuck the police. Fuck the police.
Well, that's it. You know, if they're gonna put these officers that killed George Floyd just for a couple of years, man, it doesn't seem like we have much hope. But what else can we do? We got to stay out here fighting until these officers are getting the kind of sentences that we get when we commit community violence. Yeah, justice for George Floyd, justice for all these families, and justice for me at some point.
Good police to arrest and report the bad police.
Yep, love to see that.
No good cops in a racist system.
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 My sister's son, Hardell Sherrill, was found dead in Beltrami County Jail about 4 or 5 years ago. And I had to prepare her for what she was going to go through. They told her that he died in their arms, and they tried to save him. And then once we fought to get the footage back, we seen that they left him laying on the ground for 8 terrorizing hours, when they could have saved his life and got him the medical treatment that he needed. So we don't just want Medicare for all out here on the streets. We want Medicare for all for even our inmates.
That's right.
Just because somebody is an inmate or is trying to sometimes, and he didn't even go to court yet. So we think if people in jail, people in prisons should have right to proper medical care.
Come on now. That's right.
So we want to see, there's a police department, Mounds View Police Department is dissolving, and we want to see Beltrami County Police Department dissolve. Dissolve means that it's over with, that it's ending, they're wrapping up. We also want to see the Minneapolis Police Department dissolved because of all of the murders, because of what they did to Amir Locke, because of what they did to George Floyd, because of what they did to Tekle, because of what they did to Lawrence Miles. They need to start all over. And we need to create a new type of police department that is about, for real, public safety. So I'm not going to talk real long. I'm just excited to be here amongst all the families who have lost a loved one to police violence. We got to continue to hold the police accountable, whether it happened 25 years or whether it happened yesterday. So we want an independent investigation into any police-related shooting that has resulted in death. We also want the $10 billion surplus to go towards reparations for the American descendants of chattel slavery who built this country for free. And also, reparations are not just cash payments. Reparations also means to stop killing us, stop harming us, stop discriminating against us socially, politically, economically, on the job, in the banks, with housing, etc. So that cessation means stopping the wrong or stopping the harm. And we need not just harm reduction, we need harm elimination. No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
Next week, you will be going to the polls to vote. When you go to the polls, if somebody comes up and asks you for your vote, ask them, do they support reparations? If they say no, then you say, I can't vote for you. I'm sorry, it's not personal. Then ask them, do you support the George Floyd Act? And what are you doing about it? If they say no, all right, or they make excuses, say, oh, I'm sorry, I might not be able to cast my ballot for you. So we're going to support candidates that are out here on the ground with us, stumping with us, and fighting for what we need on a daily basis.
We have a duty to fight for our freedom.
We have a duty to fight for our freedom.
We have a duty to win.
We have a duty to win.
We must love and support one another.
We must love and support one another.
We have nothing to lose but our chains.
We have nothing to lose but our chains.
We have a duty to fight for our freedom.
We have a duty to fight for our freedom.
We have a duty to win.
We have a duty to win.
We must love and support one another.
We must love and support one another.
We have nothing to lose but our chains.
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 All power to the people. Give yourselves a round of applause for being here, for standing in solidarity with our families. If you guys do not follow Family Supporting Families Against Police Violence page, please do so, because it'll keep you updated on the event.